Hi everyone, it's Stephanie. My YouTube channel is Lucky Snugs, and today I'm going to show you a flip book that I made for a swap. It was an open theme swap, and I'm calling this one a fold over flip book, and I'll show you the reason. The back page of the flip book is extra long, and it just folds over the front like this. Okay. And then the rest of it is pretty much the standard flip book. I'll go through that at the end of the video. I wanted to show a quick tutorial on how I made this. So I have one that I'm working on that is a cat theme. And this is the front, and it's a 6x6. And this is the back. And this part is about 6 1/4. And then I've got two folds here, and then this part is a flap. So it will fit together like this. But I've made a little diagram of the back part that's going to fold over. So this would be the front, and it would go here. And then I use a scoring board, and I make two scores here that are a little bit longer than the 6-inch cover. So from this end to this end is about 6 1/4. It doesn't have to be exact. It's just that you don't want that first fold right on this edge, because then it won't fold smoothly. So about 1/4 of an inch, and then I do another 1/4 of an inch, and I do another score. And I'll show you here on this book. If you look at it, you can see how it's got the double fold, so it's just a little thicker. It accommodates the bulkiness. You don't have to do the double fold. You can do a single one if you want, and I think that's a cute look too. The book bows a little more, so you get kind of a chubby looking book, and I think that's a really cute look too. And then for the flap that comes over, this part here, see, this is a parentheses type cut, and that's what I've shown here in this diagram. And so I would cut along here. Now on this one, I just did a rounded edge, and I just put a plate on top of it and drew around it. I've also made them where it's just a straight edge, and that's a nice look. I've seen them where they come across like this, and that can be really interesting. So the flap can be pretty much what you want. I try to work with the design of the paper. And also, I don't have a specific distance that I use from here to here. Again, I work with the paper that I have. This one I'm going to want to put some kind of embellishment or image right here, so I wanted this flap kind of short. This one is a little bit longer, but I decided the length of the flap based on this flower right here. I wanted it to be seen. And I didn't want it to be shorter, because then it shows part of this flower, and that's a little distracting. So the flap can be really any width that you want. I just work it with whatever design I'm using on the front cover. So I hope that was pretty clear. It's just a basic 6x6, and then the back is just longer, and it's going to fold over the front. Oh, also in order to adhere these together, to bind it together, you can use washi tape. I sometimes use paper just because I think it's sturdier. This is the paper that I will be using, and I will just glue it on both sides. And again, with this one, I've used the double fold on it, so I get that nice thickness. But usually I actually use a single fold on this part, on this binding part. So you can do whichever one you choose. So now I will give you, so that's about it on that, and you just fill the inside of the flip book with whatever page style you want. So I was going to give you just a little virtual tour of this book. That way, if you just wanted to see the tutorial and you're done, that's fine. You didn't have to sit through all this. So on the binding for this one, I have these pretty little beads, and this is just a trimming that I bought at the fabric store. You can see how it's just a little bit of cotton trim here, and then these were already sewn on. These can be pretty expensive. They can be as much as, $10, $15 a yard. This was marked down on clearance, and then I had a coupon on top of it, so I got it probably for about $3 a yard. And I'm only using 6 inches here, so that really wasn't very expensive. But I think it dresses it up nicely. I've started using these kind of trims a lot because I think it can make a big difference in the book. With the flap, like I said, I did the parentheses, and then I drew the parentheses on this paper as well, cut it out and adhered it because this is basic cardstock. To tie it shut, I punched a hole and I put an eyelet in there. It's just a basic eyelet. I'll show you the other side. And then I tied the string through it to go around the flipbook. I've started also using rhinestones along the edges. I think that helps define the edge a little more. I also like to use ink along the edges here. I think that also makes it pop a little bit. So you open it up, and that's just a really pretty piece of paper from K & Company. It has lilies, and I really liked that. You open it up, and here's the lily paper again, and I just made a simple pocket. I adhered some lace trim, and again the rhinestones. They can really add a nice little definition. And here's there's a card from a game called Rook. People really like these cards. I send them with almost all my swaps, and people really like them. And you can get these at flea markets and on eBay for, gosh, about $4 a deck. It's pretty cheap. This isn't what I'm going to be putting when I send into the pockets when I send this away. I'm sending it to someone who really likes Halloween, so she's getting lots of Halloween stuff crammed in here. But I'm using a more basic tags and such just for this video. This is a really pretty tag. I end up using these a lot. I like the way it's laser cut, and it's just so simple. I don't have to do anything to it. I can add it to the spine, and I just think it adds a lot of interest. Another pocket page. Again, this is K & Company paper. I adhered a little butterfly and more of the lace, and then more rhinestones. And then this is from a game called Pit. I like putting playing cards in. I think they're fun. And this is a mason jar tag, which I like. And then you can see the birds here. I tried it when I do the folds and such. I try to make it so that the pattern is still visible. Turn the page again. Another pocket page. I think the bird's nest is so pretty. And then the bird. And again, the rhinestones, which kind of define the edge. And then just a couple of clear cellophane tags. And this is a printed tag. This came printed with these flowers, and then on this side, this is a flower that I cut out just from some cardstock. And then this is a lace, not a lace, it's a leaf that I got that's a real leaf. And they dye them. You can buy them at Michael's. You get a pack of 20 for like $2. And I find that it's a really nice accessory to use. Here's one of the Halloween goodies that I'm sending to this woman who just loves Halloween. It's some skeleton keys. Again, another pocket, and it shows the butterfly. And here's a clear cellophane tag again. So you can see this is just basic. It's a basic flip book on the inside. It's just the cover that makes it really different. Here's a belly band, and I cut out a flower from some cardstock, and I've included the letter that I wrote, and then just a couple of little cards. And this is the last page. I really like the butterfly. I really didn't want to add any pockets or anything because I wanted the butterfly to be visible. And then here's the flap. And you can see that this was basic cardstock, and then I cut out some patterned paper and used the cardstock as a border. And then on the back, I left it plain again because I think the paper is so pretty. Usually I put a nice little pocket on the back as well. Sometimes I'll make it see-through like a cellophane pocket. But this one I just wanted to leave it plain because I think it's such pretty paper. So that's it. Pretty easy, but I think that the fold-over flap really dresses it up a bit. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it inspired you to try something on your own. Please feel free to leave some comments below, And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.